Old people at the hospital TW. Mentions of suicide. I'm here in the hospital waiting room, waiting on a parent to get a routine procedural test done. My parent has several health issues, and I'm here to be their assistant, bag holder, document holder, etc. My parent uses a wheelchair as well. Anyways, we were told some pretty harsh news, and they're running tests to ensure my parent's body can withstand the emergency surgery required. My parent physically looks fine. No missing limbs or hair, just thin. We were told to expect a 2.5-hour wait for this first test, but fortunately they took us after 20 minutes due to the severity of my parent's condition. Some random old bitch, henceforth referred to as O for old hag, has done the following since my parent has gone in for the test. 1. Snapped her fingers at a passing nurse about to go on her break to stop her and rant. 2. Ranted about this being a private hospital, and that wheelchair person got to go in before her is not fair to her. 3. Ranted about how she's paying for this, aren't we all? And expects to be treated better. 4. Hasn't eaten breakfast like that's somehow someone else's fault. 5. Talked about how she was a lecturer at a tertiary institution for 20 years and expects to be treated better. 6. Talked about someone she knew committing suicide cause they didn't receive appropriate medical care or something. So 7. Went back to listening to those AI racist baby slop on Facebook at full volume. The orderlies were nice enough to bring her something to eat, and suddenly she changed completely on them. Suddenly they're the nicest people she ever met. God bless them, etc., etc. She still hasn't been seen. My parent came out a few minutes ago from the test. Another patient went in for the test to be done. I'm suddenly wondering if O is just very hangry. Anyways, after waiting a while, it was time to pay. The seating area is in a pretty narrow hallway, and I have to pass right in front her to the pay point. I let one rip while in front her, silent and deadly. It brings me great joy to hear her suddenly start coughing. Anyway, I get sent upstairs with some documents for the doctor to check for my parent. I deliver them and get sent to sit outside. Imagine my surprise seeing the O come up with her documents too. And there I am, sitting in the last available seat. I mean, mug her the entire time. Fuck you, oh, thanks for reading, friends. Edit. Not sure if it was blood sugar at all, as many of you are suggesting, because she didn't even eat it. At least within the 30-ish minutes I was there waiting to pay. When I left her and that waiting room to go deliver the documents, she came right after me, like 3 minutes later. So IDK, my parents do have blood sugar issues themselves and always make sure to have something edible on hand in case it drops too low. Update. For those of you wishing us well for the surgery, I'm greatly honored to announce that the day after, yesterday at the time I'm writing this update, all these tests, they immediately did the surgery. My parent was in the ICU straight out of the surgery for one night for observation and came home the next day. Today as I'm writing this, things have been going well. I looked at the surgery site near the groin, and my parent has had mosquito bites much worse than this surgery scar lol. Specifically, my parent has had an emergency double angioplasty in their left leg. 2 stents have been placed in the left leg. The left foot is definitely swollen and a bit tender, but my parent can walk and bear weight on it, and best of all, no more cold toes. The doctor team made a tiny incision into my parent's right upper thigh groin crease of the hip and thigh cause it had better circulation and healing, and crossed over from the right side into the left leg. The surgery was done in under an hour. They're back at home and being babied by my other loved ones now. When going to pick up this morning from the hospital, the O wasn't there, no shocker, but I did have several staff members remember us from yesterday and the day before and walked with us to the elevator. Pretty sure they were just receptionists, office workers, but it was so nice of them to remember us and ask about my parent. An older gentleman, who I later found out was in charge of hospitality and customer service, actually came and asked us about the entire experience while we were waiting for the elevator to come down. Asked if there was any standouts, comparisons to other hospitals, etc. I made sure to mention the O from earlier and described her to him. He said he knew exactly who I was talking about because staff went and complained to him about her. She's been a member of a specific clinic at the hospital for a few months, but they'll be sure to take note of the incident. He didn't say anything else and thanked us for our time. Next week, we'll be going back to the hospital for a follow-up appointment. I'll edit this post with more updates, especially since my parent and this O will be part of the same clinic now. Comment by Nighty Night Tennis. As a nurse, I disagree with your calling her O old hag. Old bitch was a lot more appropriate, especially for snapping her fingers at the nurse. Nurses are healthcare professionals, not dogs. Kudos for crop dusting the OB. Comment by GoGo Mom. Hunger and anxiety can affect people in different ways. Over the last year, my husband, 52 years old, was diagnosed, treated, and passed from cancer. We spent a lot of time at the hospital, and my husband never complained, not even once. And he asked me not to complain as well, so I mostly didn't. That said, we watched the squeaky wheel get the grease over and over and over, and I have come out of this experience realizing that I will never not advocate for myself or my loved ones in situations like this. I truly believe if he had been more vocal about what was happening, we may have had better outcomes. Comment by beneficial_test_5917. Tertiary institution caught my eye. High school is secondary, so she could be teaching at Harvard or at that associate's degree factory on the third floor above the Chinese restaurant down the street that advertises on matchbook covers.